Psalms 147 and 19. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. Before we get going, I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai Bahashem Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim in Atlanta, and I just went through Psalms 147, verses 19 and 20. Just to get back into it, he showeth his word unto Jacob. Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel, Israel being the Lord's chosen people, everyone that came through the seed of Jacob. It says his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. Israel, in modern day terms, is made up of the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as our scattered, because we were scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. So we are going to come back looking like all of the other nations, but primarily we are the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And you could see that we are the Israelites from the curses that have been put on us. Read Deuteronomy 28 from 15 through 68, and you can see this has happened to the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans throughout time. Not all of it at once, but throughout time. And it would be a sign on us to show that we are truly the Israelites. It says he hath not dealt so with any nation, because the Lord has a chosen nation, just one nation that he is dealing with, and the other nations are to him as spittle, as it says. And it says, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. And so the Lord showing us his word, his statutes, his judgments. Part of that is showing us how nations are formed, how reincarnation happens, or regeneration, and how he judges the earth. And so nations are formed because there's a point here. I'm trying to get to the idea that only Israel can be saved. And so we're gonna go in a roundabout fashion to get to that. But I'm trying to see. Oops. Numbers 1 and 18. Salakia. Let's go to Numbers 18 and 1 for some reason. But Numbers 1 and 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names, from 20 years old and upward by their polls. But the point being, by the house of their fathers. This is how nations are formed, through men, through seed lines. And everybody on this earth traces back to one of the biblical nations that exists still. We've just had a veil that's been covering all of the nations. It's a covering cast over all the nations, but that veil is being lifted up. And with that, the understanding of reincarnation comes into play. The understanding of the Lord's judgments come into play as well. Let's get those judgments. He talks about getting people to their third or fourth generation. It's Numbers 14 and 18. The Lord is long-suffering and of great mercy, forgiving iniquity and transgression, and by no means clearing the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation. And if you know the scripts, you understand that the Lord said he wasn't going to punish the son for what the father did. But here it would seem like he is being double-minded, but he's not, because this at the third and fourth generation is where a reincarnated soul would come back. And so you can see how judgment happens. You can see how reincarnation happens through that father seed line, through that same lineage. You might go back to a different, you might be reincarnated into a different tribe, but it's always going to be of the same nation. And the point in going into that is because one nation gets completely cut off. And that nation being cut off is through judgment. And that judgment goes into the fact that only Israel can be saved. Seeing that this one nation gets cut off shows that not every nation can make it. And so that's the point of where I was trying to go originally. So we're going to go check out Obadiah 1 and 18. Because the nation of Edom, so-called white people, including the tiny toppers that are in the Lord's land, calling themselves the Lord's people, they get cut off forever. And that's a big G word that we use in this society. Their seed line completely gets taken off of the earth. And so anybody saying that all nations can be saved, they're not understanding this basic thing, that Edom gets G'd, big G'd. They get taken completely off of this earth, and there will never be any more of them. That whole seed line, that whole nation gets done away with. And these are part of the Lord showing his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments. This is a judgment. And if you're not understanding this to where you can fix your mouth as an Israelite and say that some of the nations could be saved, you're not understanding. And as a Christian as well, you're not reading this. You're not understanding. There's a huge judgment for these people, and they're about to be taken off of the earth. But Obadiah 1 and 18. In the house of Jacob shall be a fire, in the house of Joseph a flame, in the house of Esau for stubble. So Jacob, Joseph going into the northern, southern kingdom, coming together. And they shall kindle in them, and coming to judge Esau. He says he's going to be stubble, as in no more, just a remnant. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. None remaining. There's not going to be any of that seed line for them to count themselves according to. There's not going to be any remaining, which means that not everybody can receive salvation. And it's not just that it's none remaining. So we were talking about how that seed line comes through the men. You see it down here, and he shows you that he's going to take the men out of that house away. So Isaiah 14 and 21. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord. And you see Babylon there, but Esau and Babylon are tied together. Their manifest destinies are completely tied together. They both get done away with. The land of Babylon, which is America, is going to be nuked, and nobody is going to dwell here ever again. It won't be used anymore. It's going to be a forbidden zone, and will basically just be an example of where wickedness was. Basically, it gets big G'd. It's gonna be no more. It's gonna be just an example. It's a no-fly zone, a forbidden zone, just like in Planet of the Apes, but showing that destruction, that permanent destruction that's coming to it. And this same permanent destruction comes to the Edomites. They get taken out of power with those nukes that hit Babylon, aka America. They go into a hardcore captivity for 1,000 years with the other nations as well, because all of the nations go into slavery under the Israelites. That's what the Lord said in Jeremiah 30. All of our enemies will go into captivity. But for the Edomites, they don't come out of that captivity. They get Obadiah 1 and 18. They get little G'd or big G'd, whatever you want to call it. They get made that permanent example, just like Babylon the Great. And there's not going to be a remnant of them, son nor nephew. That is the seed line for their entire nation. There's not going to be any men left, so that nation won't be able to keep going. Let's see, son, nephew. It says in Job as well. Job 18 and 19. Actually, let's go to 7:16. It says his roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. You see, that whole branch is being cut off. This is showing it too. This is imagery to them being taken off of the earth. Somebody gets chased out of the earth. Actually, let's start all the way up at 11. It's just showing not everybody can be saved. This is talking about a whole nation, talking about the nation of the wicked, which we'll come right back to Job 18, just to show this is the wicked that the Lord is talking about. Malachi 1 and 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation, righteous anger, forever. And so what do you expect for the people that the Lord has indignation against? This is what's going to happen to him. Job 18 and 11. Terror shall make him afraid on every side, and shall drive him to his feet, because all their plans are about to go awry. They're already going awry. All their psyops, people figure out day of. It says his strength shall be hunger bitten, and destruction shall be ready at his side, because we are at their end. We're at the end of their kingdom. And their ultimate end comes 1,000 years into the kingdom, our kingdom. It says it shall devour the strength of his skin, even the firstborn of death shall devour his strength. Yahushua is coming to take them out of power. Isaiah 63. His confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the King of terrors, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. It shall dwell in his tabernacle, because it is none of his. And this is the thief. These Edomite so-called white people, including those tiny tops, they're known as the thief within the scriptures. They're also known as the devil, because they lie about everything. The devil goes into deceiver, thief. Just think about it. They're colonizers. The colonists are thieves. Colonizers are thieves. It says his roots shall be, or brimstone shall be scattered upon his habitation. And I was telling you, America gets nuked. It's going to be nuked. His roots shall be dried up beneath, and above shall his branch be cut off. Their vine is going to be, their whole family tree is about to be no more, showing they can't be saved, which means no, you can't say all nations can be saved. They can't be saved. They get taken off of this earth. His remembrance shall perish from the earth, and he shall have no name in the street. They get taken off of this earth. They're going to be a dream. It's going to be all a bad dream at some point, with them being in rulership. Yeah, they won't be here anymore. He shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world. That's speaking, that's a really nice way of saying they're going to be, big G'd. They get taken out. Not everybody could be saved, especially not Edom. These are the people of the Lord's curse to judgment, the people that he has indignation towards forever. There's no saving them. These are his creation that he actually hates, and he's going to discard because the earth will be better off without them. They get chased out of the world. It says, verse 19, he shall neither have son nor nephew, so the seed line, among his people, nor any remaining in his dwellings. Obadiah 1 and 18. They can't be saved. They that come after him shall be astonished at his day, as they that went before were affrighted. Surely such are the dwellings of the wicked, and this is the place of him that knoweth not the Most High. They have spread that lie around the earth, that of universal salvation, which Catholic means universal. And all these other churches, these Protestant churches, came out of the Catholic Church, and they've spread that everybody could be saved, but it's really just a fantasy of Esau's. All of Judeo-Christianity is just Edomite supremacy and Esau's fantasy version of the scriptures, where he actually gets to remain on this earth, where he has a shot at salvation, but it's not for them. These are a perverse people, and the Lord, they've done too much. They've just, all the blasphemy they've committed, white Jesus that they've pushed around the earth, this is all blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. And they've touched the true Israelites, the apple of the Lord's eye. They get taken off the earth. They can't be saved. There's nothing you can do about it. So, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakach, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.